Naked by Imann Abdelzaher. Narrated by Imann Abdelzaher. 9 years ago, circa the fall of 2013, I found myself at a psychiatric hospital after a night of contemplating suicide. I was a young adult and having a lot of trouble dealing with the pain I experienced during my childhood. My childhood was somewhat out of the ordinary. It was full of violent fights, abuse, poverty, and strict religious beliefs. As a reader, you may find yourself relating to the emotional turmoil that I write about in this book, or you may find that the material is deeply foreign to you. In any case, it is my hope and intention that you walk away with the same lessons that I learned in living my life, and with the same healing that I gained in writing Naked. For starters, I was born in New York City to two self-absorbed parents. I was the firstborn in my family and often found myself triangulated into my parents' violent arguments. I was parentified at a very young age. My father often treated me as though I were responsible for the family's well-being, and my mother treated me as though I were her therapist. Shortly after my birth, my dad and his older brother, who I will refer to as Alex, made an agreement to have my uncle Alex adopt me. My uncle wanted to have a child. However, his wife Mona was infertile. My father, on the other hand, was not prepared for fatherhood. So they went forward with the paperwork without telling my mother. When I was a young child, my mother made me privy to the failed attempt at an exchange. She hoped to create distance between myself and my Aunt Mona. In an unforeseen consequence of her decision to prematurely tell me, the knowledge that my uncle tried to take me from my family, and that my father allowed it, set a tone of abandonment for the rest of my childhood and through early adulthood. In another unforeseen consequence of this decision, I was robbed of the opportunity to strengthen my bond with the only family near me, my Aunt Mona. One summer night, when I was about 4 years old, my family had just returned home from the beach. My mother went upstairs to our tiny one-bedroom apartment, and I waited outside with my Uncle Alex and my Aunt Mona for my father to park the car. I suddenly remembered that I had left my jacket in my father's car, which was parked across the street. I asked my uncle and aunt to help me get to it. I waited for their go-ahead to cross to the other side of the street. In blind trust, I crossed the street at their cue and was at once hit by a car. Today, if you ask...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?